Digital humans are gaining ground. On video platforms, more and more digital people have become upmasters. On November 15, Baidu AI Digital People Zai Jia, Du Xiaoxiao, Lin Kai, Yi Yu, etc. posted a short video on the Quezon account, announcing that the Baidu AI Digital family has collectively settled in Quezon. And the live broadcast column on Station B also has a dedicated virtual anchor option. In the marketing circle, Baidu's AI digital person Zijia has already grabbed the job of McDonald's product recommendation officer. Seoul's popular virtual idol Jiren has become Pico's first VR anchor. It has successively announced that it will use the virtual digital person Axie Angie as its brand spokesperson. Another digital person Ling_Ling has won the endorsement of Tesla, Bulgari, Estee Lauder and other big names. Of course, Liu Yexi cannot be missed when it comes to this. In 2021, with the Monster Catch character set of Guofeng Beauty, Liu Yexi, who became popular on Douyin, has cooperated with brands so far including Baidu Apollo, Xiaopeng Motors, Vivo, as well as Clarins, Anta, Byte Games and more than 200 brands. Digital people seem to be becoming new traffic stars at a speed visible to the naked eye. And the companies behind the digital people have also earned enough capital attention this year. However, an embarrassing reality is that behind the popular digital people, there are very few that can really operate for a long time. On the Douyin platform, even the top-ranked Liu Yexi among digital people has only updated 23 issues so far. In order to make good content, Liu Yexi has already equipped a creative team of more than 140 people, and the total number of participants in a single work will be around 200 people. This means that huge operating costs will be spent. Usually, it costs 7 to 8 million yuan a year to maintain the operation of a virtual person. This also makes the industry of digital human beings like her flourishing beauty, beneath her gorgeous faces full of bitterness. What did 112 million buy? On October 31, 2021, Liu Yexi became popular with a short video on the theme of catching monsters, gaining 3.63 million fans overnight. This is the first lesson that many people start to know about virtual people, traffic. Since then, various virtual people have appeared one after another, and have attracted a lot of attention. The digital employee Kui Xiaopon won the Best Newcomer Award at Vanke headquarters in 2021, and the virtual person Teresa Teng appeared at Jiangsu Satellite TV's 2022 New Year's Eve concert. Hunan Satellite TV's new variety show Hello, Saturday uses the digital host Xiao Yang. Digital humans will explode in 2021 and continue in 2022. Relevant data show that as of October 2022, the number of financings in the domestic virtual digital human field has reached nearly 100, with an amount of about 12 billion yuan. However, the investment of 12 billion yuan has not brought a bright performance to the entire industry at present, but once the heat has passed, chaos abounds. Liu Yexi, who became popular with the video of catching monsters, is already the representative of the current virtual digital human. On its Douyin account, there are currently 23 published works. Compared with the daily or weekly frequency of other videos on Douyin, the creation speed of Liu Yexi obviously cannot meet people's needs. In fact, this is already the most frequently updated digital human account. On Douyin, since the first there are only 12 videos so far. The first few are all advertising videos cooperating with brands, and the last video stopped in September this year for an advertisement for a certain olive oil, and it has stalled since then. On the enterprise side, Kong Xiang, a digital person who serves as the trend manager of the global footwear giant Skechers, officially released his first video on Douyin in April this year. Up to now, only 8 videos have been released. Among them, 3 of them were released in April, and the last video was stopped in September this year, showing signs of weak follow-up. Although generations of virtual digital humans have flocked to them, most of them have disappeared without making too much waves in the market. In addition to the lack of updates, some digital people also have a lot of tricks in the way of presentation. Dr. Shikanal, a Quasi Tech technical expert, told Jiatzi Guangian that if the digital human cannot attract users in the first 3 seconds of the short video platform, there is a high probability that the user will be lost, so the image of the virtual human needs to be completed within 3 seconds. Make users fall in love with it. This may be through the cuteness of the cartoon, or the realism of the simulated person, but they all need to be as good as possible. Some people in the digital human industry told Jiatzi Guangian that most of the companies with low quotations and claiming to be able to create digital human beings are actually doing animation. It's just pulling out the animation model bit by bit. There are also some so-called hyper-realistic digital people, whose digital people are not 3D models at all, but real people. When doing live broadcasts, in order to save costs, a semi-virtual solution using live broadcast plus AI to change faces is adopted. Except for the digital construction of the face, in other places, where the face is not involved, as long as the clothes and body proportions are similar, you can use real people to make real shots. This shortcut approach will lead to the industry's lack of attention to virtual human production technology, which will definitely affect the development of digital human in the long run. In fact, many well-known digital human cases have been complained about. For example, the virtual digital human Ling_Ling who appeared on the Spring Festival Gala was complained about the stiff face. Mei Shitian was also complained about the serious plasticity of the character modeling, full of earthy taste. The first national style virtual male artist Chinyu was also complained about no characteristics. In terms of commercialization, despite the great gimmicks of digital human delivery, it did not meet expectations. Digital people do not have the product perception of real people, so there are natural limitations. Take the digital human Ling_Ling as an example. In 2021, Ling_Ling published a note on Zhao Hongshu, saying that a certain brand of lipstick moisturizes and does not dry. Don't do it. When a digital human who is not a real person tries to evaluate a product from a human perspective, since the virtual human appears in a virtual environment while the product is in a real environment, if the interaction between the two cannot be properly resolved, the will backfire. In addition, the general practice of upstream companies that provide equipment solutions for digital humans is to first provide customers with one-time solutions for digital humans, but the condition is that customers will purchase their software services for a long time and pay some service fees every year. It's more like taking advantage of the popularity of digital people, first using digital people as bait, but actually pushing platform software to charge. There are also some to-be companies that do not give the digital assets to the customer after completing the plan for the customer, but only deliver the final picture or video. Because I am worried that after the customer takes away the digital assets, they will go to other suppliers to make content, and it will be difficult to make money in the future. The common difficulty of such companies is that if they fail to accumulate platform capabilities when packaging products, they can only linger in the project system, unable to reuse, and difficult to move towards platformization. Coupled with the concept of the metaverse, although major manufacturers are basically deploying digital human-related businesses, many digital human orders are actually outsourced to third-party companies. Due to the different technical standards of each company, digital people are relatively fragmented in the production of digital assets, character rendering, artificial intelligence training, building knowledge bases, and creating production content capabilities, resulting in higher costs and final production. Digital people, compared with the effect that the original demand wants to achieve, has been compromised. According to the Metaverse Development Research Report 3.0 recently released by the Metaverse Culture Laboratory of the School of Journalism and Communication of Tsinghua University, the current virtual IP is facing difficulties, such as declining popularity to varying degrees and loss of freshness for users. From the perspective of branding, the cost of producing high-quality virtual IP is high, and the follow-up operation is weak, without the support of high-level interactive capabilities, and the value of IP is showing a downward trend. 2. Spend 1 million to create human beings and 8 million to operate. A practitioner in the digital human industry expressed an observation to Jiazi Guangyan: when digital human beings first became popular, people would pay more attention to the appearance of digital human beings, so the face count. Note, face count refers to the 3D characters, the number of triangles. Usually the more the number of triangles, the more realistic the characters will be. Highly well-made figures are easy to get out of the circle. However, once this type of digital person leaves the circle, the subsequent drivers will be extremely expensive, and the maintenance cost will be very high in the later stage. At this time, whether the IP can be successful depends not only on the number of faces of the virtual person and whether the video is well made, but largely depends on the worldview behind it and its storytelling. In a word, a beautiful skin is not reliable, but an interesting soul. This also explains why there are more than 30,000 digital people in the world, but very few can be remembered. According to industry insiders, many people who have just entered this industry, because they do not know enough about the industry, do not proceed from reality, but follow the trend and make a super realistic digital human. Well done, but ignores the fact that the post-operations budget is actually several times that of the former. Because as long as you use it, you need to continue to invest in it later. Once the budget is not enough, this super realistic digital man will be useless. At present, the price of just building a super realistic digital human is usually around 1 million yuan, and the cost is mainly in 3 parts: image design, modeling, binding and rendering driver. Taking Douyin beauty expert Liu Yexi as an example, Liang Zikang, CEO of its production company Chuangyi Technology, once told the media that Liu Yexi only invested 1 million yuan in production, while the first Liu Yexi the short video of Yizai costs about hundreds of thousands of yuan. The cost per second of hyper-realistic virtual human videos is in the range of 10,000 yuan. In addition, virtual digital humans also need to be driven by technology. The traditional model driven by real people needs to wear motion capture suits to achieve micro-expression control of virtual humans. A set of professional motion capture suits requires an investment ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions, and requires a team of more than a dozen people for maintenance. Wearing this motion capture suit and calibrating the helmet takes an hour. Of course, these are only the prices of technology and equipment, and the greater cost lies in the content. Although Liu Yexi does not have a fixed person in the middle, note, the person in the middle refers to the real operator behind the virtual person. It is also necessary to ensure the consistency and continuity of the IP personality in terms of content and operation. It's not easy to keep coming up with new ideas. Shi Duosheng, the founder of Chuangyi Technology, the operating company behind Liu Yexi, admitted to Jiazi Guangyan that the most difficult part of creating Liu Yexi is how to build its worldview, because the worldview can assist digital people complete the spiritual value. The breakthrough found by Liu Yexi is to position the 2.5-dimensional, national-style beauty makeup, and to match the plot of the metaverse with the Demon Master. Judging from the short videos currently released by Liu Yexi, the suspenseful plot is closely connected, and the style of painting does not lose the texture of the movie. Each short video can convey the worldview it wants to build, which is quite interesting. Some netizens left messages under the Douyin account of Liu Yexi: "It feels like I'm watching a movie, the intention is good, therefore, the success of Liu Yexi is essentially the success of content capabilities." Behind a 3 to 5 minute video with content like Liu Yexi, there is quite a lot of human support. Shi Duosheng told Jiazi Guangyan that Liu Yexi's entire creative team currently has about 140 people, but in reality, during the production and shooting of Liu Yexi, there will be about 200 participants in a work as a whole. The Liu Yexi team once revealed that more than half a year before the launch of Liu Yexi, the investment in research and development costs, personnel costs, and technology costs has far exceeded 1 million yuan. Xu Chan, Chief Operating Officer of Zhaois and head of the Artificial Intelligence Creativity Laboratory, also said that the cost of a 3D model of a super-realistic virtual human produced by using 3D modeling and other similar technologies currently ranges from 300,000 yuan to 300,000 yuan for a single image part. About 450,000 yuan, it may cost 5 or 6 million yuan a year to operate. Among them, the production cost of a 3-minute ultra-high-definition digital human animation can easily cost hundreds of thousands of yuan. It takes 1 to 2 months from planning to preparation, and the overall cost is close to that of an S-level web drama. Coupled with the investment in the cost of the digital human itself, the cost of live broadcasting, and the creation of the metaverse space, there is no way to spend a few million. For digital human live broadcasting alone, a row of equipment, dozens of light tracking cameras, all optical motion captures, scene lighting corrections, visual motion captures, and the revised price of each small technical point for each live broadcast of digital human beings, they are all above 10,000 yuan. Those more realistic digital people will have higher requirements for facial expression accuracy and hair texture, and it will be more difficult to drive it and the cost will be extremely high. This is why some hyper-realistic digital people are very realistic, but they can only be presented statically. Even dynamics are done on 2D or some simple models. In this industry, the cost of digital human beings is often evaluated based on the number of facets, and then the corresponding cost is formulated. Due to the non-standard nature of the industry, there is no specific price, and price elasticity makes the price opaque. As for the operating cost of the digital human, a practitioner estimated a larger number. If modeling costs 1 million, another 8 million will be used to prepare for it. The so-called use it is to make it move, such as digital human voice expression, facial expression, action generation, etc., all need to be driven by AI, which is the bulk of the investment. A negative example is that a certain practitioner once contacted a bank, and the other party wanted to build a digital human. At the earliest, it cooperated with a metaverse digital integrated marketing service provider. The cooperation projects were the cost of the digital person itself, the cost of short videos, the cost of live broadcast, and the metaverse space. Among them, a digital human was used to conduct a live talk show, which involved venues, live actors, software and hardware motion capture equipment, studio systems, and so on. In addition to these own costs, the service provider also needs to make a profit from it. As a result, after only half a year of cooperation, they have already spent 3 to 4 million yuan. No expense was spared, and the technical deliverables were rough. It is understood that the bank has no choice but to continue to cooperate with this manufacturer because the metaverse space is not yet online, but the rest of the projects have already actively sought other manufacturers to provide services. 3. How many digital humans do we need? At the 2022 Baidu World Conference on July 21 this year, He Junji, Senior Vice President of Baidu Group and General Manager of Baidu Mobile Ecological Business Group, MEG, made an unexpected judgment: the era of one digital person per capita has passed. Arrival. But judging from the current development of digital humans, both in terms of monetization and new ways of playing, are stuck in bottlenecks. In terms of market perception, there are only a few top streamers, and the acceptance of digital people on the client side is not as high as expected, and there is no greater breakthrough in influence. This begs the question, does the market really need so many digital people under the condition that industrial technology has not yet been greatly upgraded? The current digital human is often criticized for having only a digital skin but no soul, unable to interact more naturally with people, let alone have an emotional connection. Dr. Shikanal said that whether it is the comprehensive attractiveness such as the subjective initiative and appeal of the subject behind the digital human, that is, the human or artificial intelligence, or the degree of realism shown through the skin, that is, the facial micro-expression, frown and smile. These 2 points are the deep water area of virtual human technology. Especially in terms of the subjective initiative of the subject, it is still difficult for artificial intelligence to completely pass the Turing test in simulating human performance and emotions. In addition, looking at digital people from multiple dimensions is far from reaching the real industrial explosion point. From the perspective of the market, the current digital human is mostly used in the fields of 2B and 2G, and is still in a very early stage of market education. When 2B has not yet formed a large scale, it is more necessary for 2C. The former should be popularized first. Therefore, the current 2C field still needs a long period of cultivation, and the current commercialization is still being explored, mainly based on brand spending. From the perspective of AI technology, when the digital human has a skin, the driving and dialogue behind it can only be limited to the human in the middle if there is no very good AI brain. At present, the difficulty in making digital humans lies in real-time interaction. To achieve real-time interaction, not only a real-time 3D engine such as Unity is required to complete high-quality rendering, but also voice, intelligent system, hardware equipment, network and even computing power. The cooperation of the system requires the coordinated development of various disciplines. In terms of production and sales, in the early stage of the market, digital humans lack large-scale commercial scenarios and are more used on the B side. Digital humans are generally concentrated in service-oriented digital humans, such as virtual customer service, bank virtual salespersons, and scenic spot guide digital humans. The image IP level digital people are mostly used for brand communication, but due to the high cost of content operation in the later stage, each company is in the exploration stage. From the perspective of the field carrying the digital human, since the digital human involves technologies such as cloud rendering, motion capture, and NLP, it requires high technology and capital investment. From the initial equipment investment to the later manpower time, it is hindered to a certain extent. Large-scale commercial use of digital humans. At the same time, it is necessary to consider what kind of field to use the digital human to better carry its computing power, such as film and television level or CG game level. The equipment is still difficult to keep up, and the current field is more dependent on big manufacturers promote. Although the development process of digital humans can be accelerated to a large extent through the narrative of the metaverse, only by reducing the cost, technically can we better scale up. Secondly, it is also necessary to realize the integration of all things in the metaverse like breaking the wall, so that digital people can truly provide services in the metaverse, and accompany users in social, gaming, office and other activities on other occasions and platforms, rather than a single point provide a certain type of value. Zhu Feng, the founder and CEO of Xiaoyu Technology, believes that digital humans should be discussed in conjunction with the main body of the metaverse defined by the 3D Internet. The people and goods in the 3D Internet should interact to provide services to users. It is necessary to have a deep understanding of the specific use scenarios of users, otherwise only using digital humans as products to provide services can only be blind. Li Tian, head of Li Weiker's technology brand, believes that if digital people want to truly usher in an industrial explosion, they should be consumer grade, not just an ornamental thing. Everyone has their own digital twin. In addition to interacting in life, everyone can also use their own digital images to interact in a virtual parallel space. To socialize on a brand new device, we have to wait until AR and VR are truly popularized, but this time has not yet come. So, from the current point of view, the explosion of digital humans is most likely based on the development of AI technology, such as the emergence of UE5 and MetaHuman, which greatly reduces the threshold for real-time rendering, and the creation of high-precision digital humans. The solution of letting digital people gradually replace human beings in some interactive marketing scenarios and digital employee scenarios has already been applied in many industries. In addition, in the process of transition from 2D Internet to 3D Internet, a high degree of integration between the virtual world and the real world is required, which also brings a big opportunity for digital people. It is related to product experience, market supply and business models. If digital people want to continue to be popular, this is a force. This year can be regarded as an outbreak node of digital humans. Regardless of large or small factories, they have launched their own digital humans, but most of the current digital humans are in the L1 L3 stage, that is, relying on algorithms to drive limbs, posture, mouth shape, and expression, etc. Digital humans can perform simple decisions and operations. In the future, digital humans will achieve L4, L5 levels, and digital humans will independently make decisions and perform tasks, and fully realize intelligent interaction. Now, what the companies behind digital humans need to do is not start a digital human competition created by many participants, but should think about how to endow high-quality content and constantly updated technical means, so that digital humans can truly release their value. Attraction?